What is up, guys? MACABESPEED coming at you. Great follow-up episode on the short barrel 357 episode you guys saw a little while ago. Today, I've gone ahead and done the due diligence for you to cut some 457 barrels from their stock configuration as we get them from wherever it was that you purchased yours, in my case, bintacllc.com, to the configuration you see in front of you. I'm really hoping these shortened 45 caliber barrels can actually give us similar performance the way we saw with the shorter 9mm barrel last week. They were almost the same as the long barrel in that shorter form factor. Now, the short form factor of the pistol really comes into play when you start to think about using this in a defensive situation. Oftentimes, that counter ambush window of opportunity for your draw to first shot time is going to hinge your success in that altercation. The longer the barrel is, the longer of a time period it's going to require to get it out of the holster and on target, elongating that draw to first shot time. I do have my shot timer today, so I'm going to be able to establish both of my draw to first shot with both the long and the short version today, and we're going to see if these 45 caliber barrels act the same way as their shorter 9mm cousins. Now, I've got 8 cartridges filled up at this point already, 100% ready to go, and first thing I wanted to do before I got into any 45 caliber testing is, on a different day, a different range segment, a different filming segment, verify what we saw last time. I want to take this short 9mm barrel and this longer stock 9mm barrel with the airgun tactical ammunition and see if we get the same exact result of them making almost equal power that we did last week. Same 110 grain slug in each bore. Cronny set up. Got our gongs at 10 yards, putting cartridges on both of them, and I think it worked really well for provability last week to go ahead and use a short barrel and a long barrel in the same firing batch to really go ahead and nail down validity. Hopefully this front end holds together for me. I've had issues in the past. Here we go. Hearing protection on. And fire. Nothing! And I got a good strike out of it. Damn, does that mean that this cartridge is bad? Possible. Mulligan. Did we get a short barrel out of it? No way. 2 cartridges aren't good? There's no way 2 cartridges aren't good. I got good strikes out of it. What is happening here? I felt like I took good care charging these up. Oh, next batch of cartridges. Let's see. I'm getting good solid strikes here. .373. That's going to go ahead and be our long barrel at this point. Weird. .365, and that's going to be our short barrel at this point. So only 7 or 8 FPS difference between the two when they actually went off. That's going to be a good baseline for us to go ahead and establish that 45 caliber energy that I know so many people are interested in seeing. Let's go ahead and take a look at what ammunition we'll be using in 45 caliber. That's so weird. These didn't go off. These are what we're going to be feeding the Defender 2 457 today. I've got these great sabots made up, and they're actually about 183 grains in weight, so a lot more weighty, a lot more sizable, a lot more mass than the standard 9mm ammo. All right. Oh, I could tell already. Without even reloading this, I could tell already that my first pistol has already let go in this filming segment. This is an absolute ode to how unreliable these specific sets of pistols have been for me. It's the same failure for me each and every single time. with that firing pin being the piece that lets go. I've tried to remediate it a bunch. Bugs. I've tried to remediate it a bunch of different times, but it always comes back to haunt me every single time I get it to the range. Honestly, I just don't feel like these are reliable enough to truly hinge your self-defense on it the way you can with a concealed carry firearm. Backup gun number 2 here, ready to rock and roll. Same type of a test using one short barrel and one long barrel. Just in this case, we have 183 grain 45s instead of the 9mm. 246 feet per second. And that's from the long barrel. Interesting result. I've gotten higher velocity before. No solid strike. So is this still charged? Is this pressurized? Dang, that's terrifying. Why are all my cartridges losing pressure like this? I have never been in a situation where I've had so many cartridges lose pressure. These were all filled off of my actual compressor instead of a tank. I wonder if that has something to do with it. I really do want to get a full set of data. Seeing 246 for the long barrel, let's actually get some short barrel data and conclude one set of testing here, right? All right, here we go. 289. So actually more velocity than we got with the previous cartridge. I think something's going on with my pressure. Having gotten so many duds today and having seen the low pressure reading, the low velocity reading, excuse me, that we got with the very first shot in the 457, I think I owe it to you guys to repressurize these cartridges. I just get the feeling that there's something wrong with the way they were filled, and I can't put my finger on it right now, even though I'm seeing the symptoms in spades. I do know that I have a very long whip on my compressor, and because I have a long whip, it actually takes a long time to degas that whip. Maybe there's like a check valve in here that's also releasing the pressure in the cartridge as it releases, like, you know, more slowly than the tank. All right, hearing protection. Let's continue our data. .309. That's going to be your long barrel. .279 short barrel. I'm going again immediately. These cartridges seem just fine. I really wish I knew what the difference was between my tank and my compressor. I think that it has something to do with how quickly that line bleeds. If that line stays charged for a longer duration than we saw with my big tank on that quick bleed, I think it might hold the check valve open on these cartridges. Let's see if we get the same success. Hiss. Hiss. Solid enough strikes, but 2 hisses. Damn. Ben, I know you're out there, brother. I really got to get the follow through on the repair parts as far as these firing pins are concerned. Every time that this thing works correctly, it works like gangbusters, but getting it to work correctly with the parts that I currently have is proving to be a struggle. Please hook me up with some extra working valid firing pins, my guy. I really want to get this data for the people. .223 long barrel. Man, light strike, tiny little light strike on this guy. You know you have a light strike if you look at it and the pinhole is barely visible, just like this guy. Let's see if we can get any more data. I mean, I've been wasting so much range time today trying to go ahead and get this thing to go bang, and it's just not reliably happening for me. I might have to relent to the haters who tell me this thing is unreliable and just accept, you know what, this thing might actually be unreliable. I really want to love this thing too. That's the hard part. Like, I want to love the Defender 2. It has so much going right for it. I want to love it, but it just has so much also wrong with it that I just can't. 285 long barrel. 520 for some reason. 520 randomly with the short barrel. So I have absolutely nothing but disappointments and questions for you at the end of this episode. I don't know what's going on with the ones that went hiss. I don't know why my compressor was unsuccessful in charging them when my tank was, and I am seeing results that are absolutely all over the board. This is literally what it's spitting out is what I'm reading for you guys. 520 being my last interval here. I absolutely am giving you guys the straight dope. I'm not making up numbers, literally reading what comes across. And today, like I said, I've got absolutely nothing but question marks and disappointment when it comes to my Defender 2. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be the place where I end today's episode, but if you like today's episode, give it a thumbs up. You want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so you can stay current on the channel as well as when these videos come out. If you really like these videos and like seeing an everyman struggle and constantly fall forward 6 more feet even though he's falling flat on his face, make sure you share it so that other people can see it. And I'll catch you boys in the next one. We're gonna do battle with the dogs, huh? Alright guys, I know I can get a little bit flustered at the range, especially when things don't go exactly according to plan as far as reliability issues with the stuff I'm testing, but I did want to give you one quick after-action update. I think that there's enough people still making solid development with the Defender 2 platform that I can't abandon it just yet. Quick little tidbit I want to go ahead and leave you guys with. The firing pin insert that goes inside that firing pin barrel is so close in diameter that if you put it in cockeyed, it almost wants to stay there with no clip. What's the point? Maybe if you put the clip in and you put the firing pin in and you assembled everything as it was from the factory, then you put a bunch of stupid dimples all the way around it so that it couldn't leave that recess, maybe you'd get a reliable gun. I'm in the process of testing this, and I'll keep you guys updated as I get my results. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna leave you with some great ammunition. A subscriber went ahead and sent this in to me, and this is the kind of stuff that really keeps me grinding at platforms that people say are just not gonna make it. The Defender 2 is getting good development like this. I want to make sure that it still continues to get the testing it deserves. Even though it's kind of, like I said, an unorthodox fix, I am going to go ahead and dimple the shit out of all of my firing pins and see if that interference fit can go ahead and keep things together so that we can get some long-term reliability out of this stuff, guys. I think it's a great place to end today's episode, but give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe, and make sure you share it if you want other people to see this great content. Catch you in the next one.